In this video, we'll be talking about permissions and sharing your Figma files. One of the most important concepts in permissions is the idea of an editor and a viewer. Viewers and editors are two different types of users in Figma. Editors have access to modify the document and change the permissions of other editors and viewers, where viewers can simply just have access to all of the vital information in the document without being able to edit it. If you're using Figma as an individual, keep in mind that you can only have one editor on a given file. However, you can have as many viewers as you'd like. If you would like more than one editor on a file, you'll have to create a starter team where you can add a second editor, or you can upgrade to a professional team where you can add as many editors as you need. You can add editors to individual files, projects, or your entire team. It's important to note, if you add an editor to a specific file, they'll only have access to edit that file, where if you add an editor to a project, they'll have edit access to all of the files in that project. And if you add them to your team, they'll have editor access to all of the projects and all of the files on the team. If you do add an editor to a specific file that's a part of a team, even though that editor will only have access to that particular file, they'll still be counted as an editor on your team. To add new editors to our team or see all of the current editors, we simply have to go to the file browser and then select our team from the left-hand column. From here on the right, we can select Invite a Team Member, enter their email, and then select which permissions, where Can Edit will make this user an editor and Can View will make this user a viewer. In addition, we can also head to the admin dashboard to manage all of our current team members. From here, we simply just have to select See Edit Permissions, and here we have access to all of the permissions of an editor on our team. We can even downgrade an editor to a viewer. Let's head back to our file and see how we can share our individual file. To share our file, we simply have to head to the top right and select Share. In the Share menu, we can see that there's only one person with access to this document currently. To add additional users, we can simply enter their email in the Invite Someone input and then select which permissions, whether they're an editor or a viewer. We can also share our file by sending a public link. To do so, we need to simply select Enable Public Access in the top right. Now, we're going to change our Can Edit to Can View, since we don't want anyone with the link editing our file, only viewing. Next, we can click Copy Shareable Link in the bottom left. Now, I'm going to open up this file as someone who's been given this link. As you can see, I'm now viewing this file as a viewer. I have access to all of our layers, as well as our red lines, and all of the important properties about our design. I can even export assets. However, I'm not able to make any sort of modifications. Now, I'm going to head back to the editor view. In addition to sharing via a link or email, you can also share a file over Slack. To do so, let's head back to our file browser. With our company selected, we then can head to Team Settings, where we have Enable Slack OAuth. If your team is a professional team, you'll have access to sharing your documents over Slack, as well as getting notifications about your document. If you'd like to share your Figma file itself, we can always export a .fig file. We can do so by heading to your menu, File, and then Save as .fig. After we select a location on our computer, we have the ability to do anything we would like with this file, including sharing over email. Currently, FIG files can only work within Figma and can't be imported into other design tools. Keep in mind that sharing a .fig file is sharing the actual Figma file instead of permissions on a specific document. With adding editors and users to a document, sharing a public link, sharing over Slack, and exporting a .fig file, Figma gives you many ways to share your files. As you can see, Figma is built for teams. With flexible controls, you can share your files in a number of ways, as well as adjusting permissions as you see fit.